and welcome to Joanne's Healing Within. I am Joanne Andrew Barry Cologne, your certified personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, mother, wife, and I'm here to help you live your best life. I'd like to take a moment to thank my sponsors. We're going to start off with Good Chi Feng Shui LLC. Great time of year to feng shui your space, whether it be your office space or your home. And with feng shuiing your office space and home, you also get to feng shui your personal space, which is your body. Combining the two together to realign your energy so you can actually clear what doesn't serve you, make space for what does, and step into the goals and the desires you want to manifest. So you're actually in the correct frequency with what it is you truly want. As when we do clear the space, it helps us to step into a higher frequency and aligns our energy so we can attract our deepest desires. With that being said, introducing our second sponsor, which is Sherry Simpson, our transformational life coach. She's going to help you clear those things that's preventing you from attracting what you like in your life. As when we do the journaling and we do the visualization and the meditation, sometimes all that work just doesn't seem to do it. Perhaps there's a blockage, something that's preventing you from actually stepping into what it is you truly want. And that blockage could be something that you're holding on to from a past life experience. It could also be something that you're holding on to from someone else's energy. So she comes in and helps to work on that clearing process. So as you do the energy work, you'll actually be in the alignment for what exactly it is you're looking to manifest. So your frequencies match, so then the universe can bring it to you. Then we have Nick Rafter, our real estate agent. Once you're in line with everything, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, then he comes in and helps you to find a perfect home or apartment. What's better than that? So with that being said, I'd like to tune in to the energy for today. What do we need to hear? What do we need to know? How can we set our vibration so we can actually attract in our experience what it is we truly want? Because again, it's all about what we want, and we do have the power to create just that, as long as we are thinking what it is we want. If we are focusing on the things we do not want, then guess what? We get a lot of that too. So let's shuffle the cards, because I love to shuffle the cards in front of you so you can actually see the magic that takes place as I'm shuffling. I'm going to take one more shuffle. Thought the cards were just going to fall on the floor there. And, actually, I have two cards for you today. Interesting enough, one card is upside down and the other one's upright. So I'm going to read the first card. And interesting enough, I did a live today and compassion showed up in my live today. And what I'm hearing for today's energy is that we need to be more compassionate to ourselves. Compassion must come from within. So all that love and peace and happiness that you send out and give to everybody else, well, how about giving it to yourself today? Be compassionate, be more kinder to yourself, be less judgmental about yourself. So if something didn't go the way you wanted to do, it's okay. Take the experience, learn from it, and then move on. When we think about the actual chakra associated, we have the third eye. Our third eye is the sole purpose to allowing us to go inward, to actually see what it is that we are creating. And if you take your time to sit quietly and use your third eye, you can literally create everything you want in your life as long as there's no blockages. Then we have the numerology, the 4 and the 9. That 4 energy is about balancing yourself, your mind, body, and spirit with your emotions, getting rid of the emotions that don't serve you so you can be in the perfect alignment to attract what you want. That 9 energy is about decluttering, which is what we just spoke about letting go of the things that don't serve you, letting go of those material things, letting go of the people that no longer serve you, letting go of your ego. The ego is a big one today. Let go of that ego and really step into a place of your heart center. And what exactly do I mean by your heart center? Well, rather than focusing on egotistical thoughts as, well, you did this to me or you did this to me, focusing on what it feels like in your heart and let go of you did and focus in on how I can serve this person better just by listening to what it is they're saying. Take those two numbers together, the 4 and 9. You get a 13, which adds out to a 4. And again, that brings us into a place of balance, balancing our mind, body, and spirit, and really letting go of the ego so we can serve ourselves on a much higher level and then serve those around us. Now, our second card, because today we actually have two, our second card is spiritual guidance. This is a perfect card for today's guest, as our guest today is all about spirit, psychic mediumship. And when we think about spiritual guidance means sitting quietly and making that connection with your higher self, your loved ones, your angels. When we speak about loved ones, it's about connecting to those who have crossed over, because they're always there looking to guide us, looking to hold our hands and bring us to the path that we need to go to and shine the light so we can go down the right path. They are also there to help us through our darkness. So listen for them, look for them, be with them. Then we have the actual chakra, which is the heart center. The heart center, with the green energy, it's all about healing. And as we are in this energy right now, the heavy energy of all the different retrogrades, and we just recently came out of the eclipse season, a lot of us are walking around with some heaviness in our heart. And we want to get to a place where we can get to that softness in the heart to start healing from the grief, the anger, the frustration, the disappointment, the sadness, or whatever else you might be holding on to in your heart. It doesn't serve your heart. So get to a place of forgiveness, unconditional love, self-love, peace, and joy. And then we move into our numerology, which is 3 and 4. That 3 is all about how we communicate to our spiritual guidance, how we communicate on a higher level so we can really get to a place of being more at peace. That 4, which showed up in our first card, is a balance again. So balance is really like the key word for today. Balancing your mind, body, and spirit, getting to a place where you can really let go of the ego and feel how much lighter you become when that ego goes and you really step into your heart and allowing your heart to lead you in regards to whatever area of your life it needs to lead you in. Take that 3 and 4 is a 7. So that 7 energy, which theoretically is the energy that we're all in this month of July, that's about reflecting, analyzing, sitting quietly and meditating, which brings us to our spirit guidance. Without meditation, it's challenging to get to that spiritual guidance. So I recommend that you definitely spend some time sitting quietly. And meditation doesn't have to be this huge practice. It can be just a matter of just sitting, breathing, and listening. As I like to say, sit in silence and see what you hear. Close your eyes and see what you see. Because with those two, it's magical, and it does bring you some spiritual guidance. I'm going to repeat that again for those of you who want to jot this down. Sit in silence and see what you hear. Sit with your eyes closed and see what you see. Major message right there. I get goosebumps when I say that. So that's the message we're walking off with today. The 7 energy and the 3 energy. Very powerful energies for today. I do hope that this resonated with you. I do hope you had a chance to write down the information. And if you didn't, that's okay. Whatever you heard when I was saying it is what you needed to hear. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to be sharing with you my guest. But before we go, I want to remind you, like and share and comment on today's show. We'll be right back.
I'm Nick Rafter, founder and owner of Nick Rafter Real Estate. If you've ever bought, sold, or rented a home in the New York area, you know how difficult a process that can be. But that's where I come in. With years of experience and knowledge of the New York rental and sales market, I can help you navigate the difficult process of renting, selling, or buying a home. Let me help you find the place to be. Here in New York, the best place to be.
Welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. If you're just tuning in, I just shared some amazing information about the energy for today, which is all about letting go of your ego and stepping into your heart to let yourself feel lighter. With the 7 energy and the 4 energy about reflecting and finding balance within your mind, body, and spirit. So, I'd like to introduce you to our guest for today, Sean, our psychic medium. Welcome, Sean.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you. How's everything?
Good.
Good, good. So, you're a psychic medium.
Correct.
Yes, so what exactly is a psychic medium?
It's a person that can connect to the other side, speak to spirit, angels, and whoever wants to come through and give their messages.
Okay, so when you say speak to the other side, does that also include like family members, like when they cross over?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay, okay, so nice. And now does everybody have this gift?
I believe so, in some way or another.
In some way or another? Very nice.
Absolutely.
Very nice. And now for you, because I know when you and I had spoken on the phone, we spoke about your story of how you
Yes.
became a psychic medium. Okay, so share with the viewers how that happened for you.
All right. Well, basically, growing up, I never believed in any of this. I wasn't spiritual. I didn't believe in the afterlife. I was closed completely.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a brain tumor when I was 13. I wasn't supposed to survive. And afterwards, I started having dreams that came true.
Now, when you say you weren't supposed to survive, is that the doctors
The
basically
doctors
said
pretty much told us
that you
yeah.
were done?
Yeah.
Okay, and you decided that you were not done?
No.
Okay. Okay, so now going through that journey, now you said you were 13 when this happened.
Yeah.
Okay. What were you, if you can remember anyway, what were you feeling at that time when this happened before, I guess through the process of first finding out you had a brain tumor? How were you feeling at that
Oh,
time?
I was a mess.
You were a mess. What was, like, if you don't mind, just a little detail, like how you were emotionally feeling about it?
Strangely, I was horribly upset, but then once we got into the hospital and everything, I was super positive,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know why.
Okay, so you were just
But
feeling...
I even came out of the surgery joking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long was your surgery?
I'm actually not sure.
Okay, okay. And how long were you in the hospital after surgery?
A month or two.
A month or two. And now, how soon after the surgery did you start, I'm going to use the word, recognizing that you had some spiritual gift coming on for you? How soon did that show up for you?
I'm not entirely sure. It came slowly.
Mm-hmm.
The dreams, they started coming through. Sometimes it wasn't exactly how it happened in real life, but it was very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, I told my dad I need to see a psychiatrist.
Okay. Now, when you told your dad, because you're 13 at this time,
Yeah.
when you told your dad you needed to see a psychiatrist at 13 years old, what were you thinking for you to want to go see a psychiatrist?
I thought something was wrong with me.
Okay, such as?
Like I was losing my mind.
Like you were losing your mind because
Yeah.
of the dreams you were having?
Yeah, that they were actually happening afterwards.
What kind? If you can remember some of the dreams, what kind of dreams were you having?
Sometimes I was actually at a school and this one kid was missing, and the next day the same kid, everyone's, did you see this person? Check the music room. That's exactly where it was.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. And you were having vivid dreams on a regular basis?
Pretty much.
Okay, and then when you went to see the psychiatrist?
I never went. My dad
Oh.
was, thank God, well, my dad was very interested in this kind of spirituality and the afterlife, so he pushed me to go see a psychic.
Oh, so here we went from thinking you wanted to go see a psychiatrist
Yeah, exactly.
to not going down that path
Nope.
to moving in to go see a psychic.
Correct.
Okay, and the reason why all of a sudden I lit up when you said this is because, interesting enough, that's like the path that I go with in reference to why deal with the medical industry so much to find out answers as opposed to maybe there's something deeper.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and so now you go to see the psychic, then what?
I was truthfully, I was being pushed after that. The psychic couldn't read me. She kept telling me, get out of my head, you're overpowering me, and I looked at her and I said, okay, crazy lady.
So being that psychic couldn't read you.
I ended up reading her, not realizing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
So here, so let's say hypothetically, you and I are sitting here, and then you would be sitting in my chair versus me sitting here, right? So now, with that being said, did that defer you to want to go see a different psychic? Let's see if they would.
No, she told me to close my eyes and told me what I see, and it turned out to be exactly true.
Uh-huh.
So she pushed me to go read a book about John Edwards.
Yes, very familiar. In
And,
fact, we spoke about him last week indirectly, but go ahead.
And I went to pick up the book. Somehow, my old schoolmate's mom was actually online with me. And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, you're getting that book? My friend's story is in that book."
Oh,
She introduced me to a friend who got me onto the John Edwards show.
okay. So now, just for the viewers, because I know who John Edward is, but I'm
Oh,
hearing
okay.
from Spirit to say, well, we need to share with the viewers who John
Yes.
Edward is. So just briefly, who he is, so the viewers can have an
Sure.
understanding
He's
why.
a psychic medium as well. He actually had a show on TV and has written many books.
Okay.
And
So reading his book did what for you?
well, it pushed me to go meet him. Obviously,
So then you went to meet him too.
yeah, and he briefly after the show told me I need to learn how to meditate, and that's how it all started.
And we were just talking about that before the
Yeah.
show started with your dad about
Yeah.
enhancing meditation. Yes, because I truly believe, just from my own practice as well, is I think that the door opener to any spiritual gift is really meditation.
Yeah.
And then as we do meditate on a daily practice, and a meditation practice does not have to be this intensive thing. It could be just really about just sitting quietly.
I love that you said that.
Sitting quietly, letting go of all the noise around, closing your eyes, because when you do sit quietly, it's weird to say that you actually do get to hear things, and when you
Yes.
close your eyes, you do get to see things. And it's a really weird thing for people to comprehend. That's why when I said it in my introduction, to have people write that down, because people would say, "Huh? You
Yeah.
want me to sit in silence so I can hear something, and you want me to close my eyes so I can see something? What is that about?" And being that you're a psychic medium, and any other person who has spiritual gifts would understand that whole concept. But again, the whole purpose of my show is to bring awareness so the viewers can get that concept as well. So, meeting John Edward and him telling you to go home and meditate, how quickly were you ready to go home and meditate?
Actually, he pushed me to go see this one person who taught me. And then once that happened, I started getting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, started hearing, seeing in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, it all changed when my grandfather passed away.
Interesting. So I'm just going to take a step back a
Sure.
second. In reference to John Edwards sent you to someone to help you with the meditation. What kind of meditation did this person help you with? Because there's so many different styles of meditation.
It was pretty much the guided meditation
Uh-huh.
where you go into your relaxed state,
Uh-huh.
and then from there you imagine whatever they're telling you, which is usually going to a higher place.
Mm-hmm.
Your secret space, your safe space.
Uh-huh. So they were guiding you in the process?
Correct.
Now, did they give you any type of CDs or audio to go home and practice, like go
No.
home and listen to? Or basically this is what they did? Or did you see this person on a regular basis?
I think it was once or twice a week.
Oh, okay, yes. So
start.
that's a
Yeah.
regular basis, yeah, yeah. And how long did you see this person on a regular basis until you felt like you were ready and understood what was going on with you?
I think about a month.
Oh, it's very
Yeah,
quickly.
It was very quickly.
Hmm. So now, here you said, you had the month session with the guy, meditation, and then your grandpa died.
Yeah.
And yeah, that if anything is gonna open that up for you, that would very much do it. I mean, the same for myself when my mom had passed. It was like I had certain things going on, but all of a sudden she passed, and it's like, what is all of this about? So
Yeah.
yes, losing a loved one, will definitely open that up.
Yeah.
So when you lost your grandpa, what took place then?
I don't know how much longer ahead we're going, but it was at a family gathering, and I went out into the hallway to get something, and I see him. I still get chills. I see him walking towards me in like his spiritual body.
Yes, yes.
Because and it was too powerful. I started crying.
Now, when you did see him walking towards you, was he coming to you to give you a message, or he was just coming to you for no reason at all, to your knowledge?
I wasn't sure because I ran.
Oh, so Grandpa's walking towards you, and you run this way, or run towards him?
I was hysterical crying, and I ran away. I
And
didn't
how
know.
old are you at this point? Are you still 13 at this point?
No, this was late. I must have been like 16.
So 16 years old, you for the first time you actually see
Yeah.
a loved one who has crossed
Exactly.
over, and you see them in front of you.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, no, this is not happening. I'm going the other way. Yeah, I could definitely see that being a little scary. Like, wait a minute, why are you here? You know, and running away. So now you ran away in tears. What was the next thing that happened for you?
He came to me again when I was at home, and he started teaching me. He started teaching me how to meditate better, how to focus more, because a lot of the hardest thing I had with meditation was focusing.
Now, when he did come to you at home, did he gently say to you at that point, you know, Sean, I'm going to be guiding you.
Yes,
I'm going to
absolutely.
help you, so this way you're not afraid of him. And I'm guessing the second time you saw him, you probably were a little more comfortable.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, okay, so I got past the first time of seeing somebody who's crossed over. It's not weird anymore.
Yeah.
You know, at least with that person.
Yeah.
You know, and he's letting you know that he's going to be guiding you in your process.
Yes.
And how did that feel for you?
Comforting.
Comforting, comforting. And how often did your grandpa come to you?
Maybe once a week.
Okay, and did he come to you if you, let's say, if you called on him?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and again, for the viewers, because I know how it works, but when you want to call on a loved one, is there something specific that you do to call on them? Do you think about them? Do you say their name? What do you actually do?
I'll call them. I'll call their names. But I also kind of you try to feel what you feel towards that person.
Okay, okay. And I just wanted to be a little more clearer so the viewers get a
Sure.
really good understanding. So, like for myself, if I want to call on my mom, I will just say her name.
Usually they're right around with you all the time.
Yes,
So
yeah.
they're not far away at all.
Now, is it true the same for your loved ones? Because I know it is. This is for our angels, but for your loved ones, if you don't call on them for guidance, do they still intervene?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, they still do.
A lot of people see signs from them.
Uh-huh.
That's them letting you know that they're there or you're on the right path. They're always around.
So they're going to intervene regardless, as long as you're open to recognizing those signs that are coming from them.
Exactly.
Okay. And now, when I use the word open, because again, for me, we know the terminology.
Of course.
But the viewers, what would be another word we can use so the viewers can get an understanding to being open? Do you have a word that they would understand better?
I guess trusting.
Trusting. Trusting. I like that word. I like that word. And it's a good word, because what we're going to do, before we go to commercial break, just let the viewers know how they can reach you. And I think we have a flyer that says this too. Give your contact information.
Okay. My phone number is 516-673-6554. And I can also be reached at sean.tannenbaum@gmail.com.
Great, thank you. So that's a great word, trusting, to allow one to trust.
That's
And
a
I
big
guess
thing
we
to
can
learn.
also use that same word in reference to our angels and spirit guides. That as long as we're
Absolutely.
open and trusting that they're there to guide us, they're there to provide us with the information we're looking for without being afraid of them. You know, so if hypothetically speaking, Archangel decided to sit on the couch next to us, we wouldn't be afraid. We would like, okay. Now, for you, are you able to connect with the archangels as well, or?
Yes.
Yes. So when you're sitting with somebody, you can actually let them know that there's one of the archangels with them.
Absolutely. It's happened many times.
Awesome. We're going to talk about that when we come back. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Experience Feng Shui interior design for your home or office. Good Chi Feng Shui LLC can transform your home or workspace, no matter how large or small, into a harmonious, rejuvenated environment. Good Chi Feng Shui LLC. Call or email to schedule an appointment for a consultation today.
Those dark nights of the soul, they suck. But anyway, we come out of them, and I'm going to share with you what mine look like and the tools I use to stay grounded, centered, and really present no matter what's going on around me. Don't forget to tune in, Strong Island TV with Joanne Angel Barry Cologne's show.
Hi there, my name is Sherry Simpson. I am a transformational life coach. I healed an autoimmune disease of the thyroid called Graves' disease, and I like to help people heal themselves now. I did this completely naturally using many methods, and I believe connecting into my spirituality really had a huge impact for me. So I like to help people get to the root cause of issues, and I do that by allowing you to tap into your higher self and by asking your subconscious and your higher self questions about what it is that you need to do to heal. So I look forward to connecting with you soon. Namaste.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. If you're just tuning in, I have Sean here, our psychic medium. We've just come from a really delightful conversation about spirit communication and Sean's journey of becoming a medium. It's okay to call you a medium?
Yes.
Of course. And spirit communicator, all that falls under the same realm. So we left off with saying trusting, being open to receiving the messages from our loved ones and our angels for that matter. Now, what are some of the tips that you can give, or maybe not tips, what are some of the things that people might want to come to you for in reference, not so much about connecting with their loved ones, but let's say, because I know you teach classes too, right? And let's say somebody was not really sure if they were a medium. Like, what would be some of those things that you can give as guidance for those people to let them know that, yeah, they do have a spiritual gift as being a medium? What would be some of those things?
Well, my biggest tip can be that everyone doesn't get it the same way. A lot of people try to get it a certain way, like as far as seeing the spirit, and they're actually missing everything that's coming at them in a different type of way. So there are people that get it with sight. There are some people that can hear. Some people that feel. So you have to really just try to be as open as you can to everything that's coming in.
That's coming in, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and which I think is important because it's like you said, and I think the word try, I think we have to get the word try out of the way.
Good.
Because reality of it all is when you're trying to tap into something, I don't believe spirit communication is about trying. You know, I mean, if let's say you're sitting with your girlfriend and your girlfriend says, well, yeah, I think I hear spirit, and then you go home and try to hear spirit. It's like either, you know, it's either going to happen or it's not going to happen at that moment. Doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to happen. Because I think you and I had a conversation saying that we both believe that everyone has the ability to really connect with spirit.
Absolutely.
You know, and now how would one go about, again, we're going to use the word try, even though we don't want to. How would one go about if they did want to, let's say a loved one crosses over and they want to have a conversation with that loved one, and they have no idea that they can. How can that person go about tapping into that spiritual gift? What are some of the tools that they can do?
Well, one of the things, you invite them to come in, and the best tool really is just to, as you said, breathe and be silent, and just take in what you see, what you feel, and it's usually them pushing through what you need to interpret.
Now, I know for myself, when I first started my spiritual journey with spirit communication, what I found helpful for me was, if I wanted to speak to my mother, was actually having a picture of her.
Okay.
And like literally having a picture right there where when I was having the conversation, I was actually seeing her. Because I happen to be, I guess, a visual person where I need to see, you know, so I can get a better understanding, so I don't feel like I'm just sitting talking to myself, so to speak. So I would put the picture up. And I did that a couple of times, and then all of a sudden, I didn't need the picture anymore. All of a sudden, I would be sitting there talking to the picture, and I would feel energetically a presence within, like around me. And then I would look up and there she was.
Yeah.
You know, so do you have any other tools that the viewers can take with them in reference, like a picture? And when you say inviting them in, what does that mean?
That means just calling them, telling them that you would like to talk to them.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And then they're just open to...
Absolutely.
And just having a general everyday conversation like you and I are having right now?
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. This is so fascinating.
I have so many times where people talk to their loved ones at night when they go to bed, and during the reading, the spirit will actually repeat what they talked about.
What they said.
Yeah, so they are there.
Now, from your point of view, in reference to spirit communication, from your point of view, do you believe there is such a thing as spirits that come in that are bad?
I've never had any
Bad
bad experiences or anything
Okay,
like
so
that.
when spirits come through, from your point of view, they're coming through based on a loving, more
Absolutely.
compassionate space. Not
Absolutely.
because they're angry with you and they want to dismantle your home.
No.
Yes, because I've had some experiences where, you know, people say, oh, I have this evil spirit that's in my home and you know, knocking down stuff and whatever not. And I'm like, really? I've never had that experience. You know, so I was kind of curious from your point of view as a medium, if you...
Yes. Sometimes it's misunderstood too.
Yes.
I've had spirits move things, or or maybe bang something, but it's to get a message across. It's no evil intentions at all.
Yeah. So when they're, let's say, knocking over the, which is what happens to me all the time, where I'll be the only one home, and all of a sudden, my picture on the wall will fall on the floor. Like, why is the picture on the wall falling on the floor? Like, how? Why? You know. And I've come to learn, okay, obviously, someone's trying to get my attention.
Yeah.
So taking a moment to sit down and, or say, first thing would be, okay, well, obviously the picture wasn't hung on the wall properly, and that's why it fell off. But then I also say, maybe not so much. So that could be one of those signs as well, that a picture falls off the wall.
Absolutely.
You know, that spirit is like, okay, I'm going to knock the picture down to get your attention. Or you just, like, a couple of weeks back, I have a whole pot full of incense sitting on over my stove. And loud noise, they all landed on the floor. I come in, I'm like, how on earth did it fall on the floor?
Yeah.
You know, so I just sat quietly in that space.
Exactly.
And I listened to what it was that they were trying to get my attention, because obviously they were trying to get my attention.
Yeah.
Now for me, and correct me if this would be true for others, it wasn't so much that they were trying to get a message, well, they were trying to get a message across, but what they were trying to do was to get me out of my thoughts.
Okay.
You know, what I found for me, where my thoughts were going someplace negative, so they did a big bang to get me out of my thoughts.
Okay, that's possible. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think sometimes spirit will show up that way, you know, to distract you from whatever it is you're thinking. Does that make sense for you?
That could make sense. Absolutely.
Good, good, good. Now for you, in reference to your journey of what you're on as, you know, a spirit communicator, that you sit and do readings for people, what are some of the reasons why people would want to come to you for a reading?
Well, one of the obvious reasons is to communicate with someone that you lost, to get closure is a big deal.
Is a good word.
But there are also other things, such as, healings. I've done healings for people.
And when you say healings for people?
Reiki.
Okay.
Or energetic healings.
Uh-huh.
It could also be healings from their past
Okay.
that come up and they have to kind of deal with in order to move forward.
Now, do you also help spirit, I'm going to use the word, go to the light? Because sometimes I found, I hear that some...
I haven't had that yet.
You haven't had that yet?
No.
Okay, so since I brought it up, let me explain to the viewers what
please.
that means, because they're probably, well, what does that mean? You know, sometimes a spirit will linger when they first pass on. And they're lingering because there's somebody within the family who is either preventing them from going.
Okay.
So sometimes the spirit communicator will have a conversation with the person who's still with us on earth, to have a conversation with the person who's crossed over, so that person can actually give them permission to go to the light.
Okay.
You know, so it's an interesting experience, and I was just curious to know
Yeah.
if you've ever had that. And usually when they're in that middle space where they just can't find the light, it's usually because a family member is preventing them from finding the light, either based on anger or sadness because they left suddenly.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you leaving? Come back. And to get the human on Earth to really understand that the person who's crossed over is finished.
Yeah.
They've done their job. Have you had that experience in reference to having to tell someone during a reading that they've done what they came to do? Do you believe that that's the reason why they cross over? They've done what they came to do?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like we're all here to learn our lessons and also help others learn their lessons as well.
Yes, yes. Now, in reference to, for the viewers, are there any tips that you can give the viewers in regards to improving their spiritual gifts? Something that they can take home and practice and see if it works for them, and if not, they'll be reaching out to you?
I'm trying to think, besides the meditation, one thing that started with me is you can connect to them in your dreams as well. So a lot of people don't remember their dreams, so I suggest to people you take a notepad and put it by your bed before you go to bed. And when you wake up, you write down whatever
Whether it
came to
makes
you.
sense or not.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, do you use any specific tools? Like for myself, I know frankincense is a really great essential oil for one to apply on their third eye to enhance their dreams. Do you use any of those?
Me personally, no.
Well, yeah, because your gift is there. But is that something that you suggest to your clients?
Essential oils and incense are all great.
Oh, great. What incense would you recommend?
I'm not sure. What do I use? I use the I can't remember the name.
Frankincense, sandalwood, sage.
No.
None of those. There's something else. Oh, you're gonna have to let us know the name because
Yeah,
I'm kind of
exactly.
curious to know what you use.
I just use it because I like the smell and it relaxes me.
Yeah, well, I guess that would be the key, is anything
Yeah.
that's going to relax the
Anything
person,
that's gonna relax you.
to allow them to be open to receiving and opening them up. Now, before we go to a commercial break, have you ever had a client who come to you where they want to get message, but they're not open to receiving it?
They always get a message, but sometimes it's not what they want.
Not what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Now, is it to the point, now, in reference that if they want to speak to a specific spirit, that spirit doesn't come through for them? Or do you always get the one they're looking for?
Well, usually whoever comes through was meant for them.
Uh-huh.
There are people that come through looking for a specific message that they, that's
Like if I hypothetically said, I want you to tell me, connect with my grandmother.
right,
You know,
exactly.
would you be able to connect with my grandmother, assuming there's a message for her to give me?
Correct.
Right?
Usually I can.
So if there's if grandma doesn't have a message for me, grandma may not be showing up. Correct?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
I've had someone come over so many times, the spirit finally said, what else can I tell you?
Interesting, because that does happen.
Yeah.
Especially if you get somebody who constantly wants to hear something. It's like, there's nothing left to say. I've given you all the information.
Yeah.
So, but just for the viewers to understand that when you come to have a session, you're not always going to get a message from the person that they're coming in to get a
Exactly.
message from. Some
Correct.
other spirits may show up. Now, have you ever had an experience where you had a client sitting and no spirits came in because there was no message?
No, I've never had that.
You've never had that?
And that was my biggest fear when I started.
Oh, okay. I wonder if any spirit communicator has ever had that experience where there was just no message from a loved one. Because I always believe there's always a message, probably from archangels, but not necessarily from a loved one.
Right. And you never know who you're going to get when you come into a reading.
Exactly.
I had one person where this person came through. They had no idea who they are.
Uh-huh.
And it turned out it was the custodian at their school that they worked at.
Interesting.
And he just wanted to thank them for being the only people that were nice to him.
Oh, wow. So that's nice. So, again, coming in, thinking you're going to get a message from a loved
Exactly.
one, and you get a message from somebody totally out
That
of
you
the blue.
never thought you'd hear of.
Very nice. Interesting. I'm
Yeah.
glad you shared that. Yes. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to be giving Sean a reading today with our Chakra Balance Cosmic Energy Forecast reading. So we'll be right back.
I'm Nick Rafter, founder and owner of Nick Rafter Real Estate. If you've ever bought, sold, or rented a home in the New York area, you know how difficult a process that can be. But that's where I come in. With years of experience and knowledge of the New York rental and sales market, I can help you navigate the difficult process of renting, selling, or buying a home. Let me help you find the place to be here in New York, the best place to be.
Welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. If you're just tuning in, well, we just had a whole mouthful of information about spirit communication and the journey of Sean. And I want you to have the key word, the word trust, so you can open yourself up to trusting, to listen and to see and feel and even hear spirit communication come at you for whatever the questions is you're looking to get guidance on. So I'm going to do a reading now for Sean in reference to the Chakra Balance, Numerology, Cosmic Energy Forecast reading. I think there's a flyer on this that gives you some information that if you're interested in getting your own reading, you can. And Sean, you're going to shuffle. And as you shuffle the card, I'd like you to ask out loud a question that you like clarity on. There goes that. That is the notebook one. Do you have the one on the card readings? There we go. All right, what's your question?
What's the next step I have to take so I can help more people?
Oh, that's a great one. Let's spread those cards and see what we have. Okay, you might want to go this way.
Oh.
Nice long way. Otherwise, your cards are going to be on the floor.
This is true. All right.
All right. And then you're going to pick one card, whichever card talks to you. So your question is, what direction, what path do you need to go to enhance your journey?
Correct.
Okay, so pull one card and let's see what we have.
This one's calling to me.
All right. So, interesting. Higher self. Higher self. So, what does higher self actually mean? Higher self means connecting on a higher level. You know, and when you really think about it, you sit back and say, well, I'm a psychic medium. Connecting on a higher level? Well, yeah, because sitting quietly and maybe connecting with your grandfather and saying to him, Grandpa, where am I supposed to go next with my gifts that I have here? Am I supposed to be doing more teaching? Am I supposed to be starting my own show? Am I supposed to be writing a book? Are you thinking about writing a book?
I've been told that I'm supposed to.
Okay, but the question is, are you thinking about writing a book?
Not at the
We're
moment.
all told we're supposed to because everyone has a book in us.
This is true.
Yes, but I truly believe, and I'm being told, I'm hearing that yes, you have a book in you, and in reference to sharing your journey of how this even came about for you.
Yeah.
You know, and that would actually help you step into your higher self because you're going to come out of your ego and really move into the heart center about the work that you do. And then teaching other people how to do just that. What I'm also hearing for you are you still teaching your classes?
No, but I'm going to start up again.
Okay, because what I'm hearing with that, if you can, when you teach, record your classes when you teach.
Mm.
because some of the information that's going to come to you in your class will be used in your book.
Okay.
Okay, and it's one of those things. Either record, yeah, I would say record it, like, and then get it transcribed,
Right.
so you can put it into your book. Because some of that information, I'm guessing, as a spirit, as a psychic medium, some of the information that you do receive comes on such a higher level that you're not going to remember it once the class is over.
That makes sense.
So to have it recording, then you can go back and listen to it and say,
Yeah.
makes sense, and add it into your book. Now, in reference to the chakra that we have going here, it's your crown chakra. And anytime we meditate, we open up our crown chakra. And as a psychic medium, your crown chakra is open because you're connecting to spirit.
Right.
And I mean, if there's one way that our crown chakra is going to be open, is obviously having that connection. Now, just out of curiosity, and we didn't share this during the early portion of the show, what do you do for yourself to protect your energy with all the spirit communication that you do?
I usually just surround myself in that white bubble of light,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times I'll ask Archangel Michael to, protect me during that time.
To use his blue sword to cut out anything that is not yours? Is
Correct.
that what you do? Because I know I do that too. It's like, just cut the energies that's not mine.
Yeah.
And when I use it, just for the viewer's sake, in reference to protecting your energy, because I'm sure throughout your day, there's many spirits that are around you all day
always.
long. I mean, you can walk on the street. Now, do you ever get those experiences that when you're walking in the street, you're getting messages coming to you? Where, okay, I need you to send this message to this person over here. Do you ever get that?
Every once in a while, yeah.
Okay, and you're using your white light to protect yourself so you're not distracted all the time.
Correct. You can also close, almost like you imagine your chakras closing
Yes,
as
yes.
part of that.
Now, I know for my practice, I always encourage my clients to keep their crown and root chakra open and close the other ones.
Correct.
And I'm guessing, as a spirit psychic medium, you might also want to close the crown chakra a little bit so you're not exposed so much, because we can do that too. We always want to keep our root chakra open so we
Right.
can stay grounded. Otherwise, we'd be all over the place fumbling and whatever not. But would that be the same for you in reference to shutting down the crown chakra just a little bit so you're not overwhelmed when you're outside?
Yeah, I guess that would work too.
Okay. So going back with your card, with the crown, in reference to just doing that, protecting yourself so you're not being overwhelmed by a lot of this energy that's out
Right.
there. Now, interesting enough, not relating to the card, but questions that are just coming up. Why are they coming up now? Have you been to 9/11 as a psychic medium?
No,
You've never gone down to the memorial?
no.
Be interesting to know, if you were, what the experience would be like. Because I know many other psychic mediums who have. From their experience, is that there is a lot of, I'm going to use the word lingering energy there
Okay.
that hasn't quite crossed over.
Oh,
And they need help being crossed over. And what I'm actually hearing, if you can and want to, they're saying to tell you to take a visit down there and help them cross over, because that's what I'm actually hearing.
I will absolutely do
Yeah,
that.
and I don't know why that just came. It's like, why is that coming now? But that's what I'm hearing, is that take one day. You might want to do it during the actual 9/11 memorial, and go visit, and help them cross over, because there's still so many of the energy that's still there that needs to go, and a lot of it is because their family members aren't ready to let go of them, and that's why they're still lingering.
And that brings us full circle. My grandfather died right before 9/11, and we
I
were
got the chills.
we were on a plane, getting ready to take off to go see his funeral, and that's when 9/11 happened.
Wow.
We never got there.
I guess that's why we had to talk about this
Yeah,
today.
absolutely.
Interesting. And talk about higher self.
Yeah.
So, and our numerology for the day is 11. So that 11 energy is a master number.
Yeah.
Okay? And now, you smiled when I said 11. Is there a reason why?
Master numbers are very strong with
Significant
me.
for you?
Yeah.
Why so?
Well, I'm a 33,
Oh, interesting.
and just they come up all the time for me. The
Okay.
11, 22, 33.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, just for the viewers so they understand, a master number is a higher calling. And you as a 33, that's a higher calling in reference to communication.
Yeah.
And also when you break the number down to a single digit, it's a 6 energy. So it's about healing. So obviously you are definitely here. And I would say as your higher purpose, you are actually here to help people heal from losing loved ones. And you're also here to help loved ones cross over. is what I'm hearing. Which is why I'm sending you to the 9/11 memorial
Yeah,
to
no,
help people,
very
help
interested.
the spirits cross over. So I'm hoping that this resonated with your question
Absolutely.
in regards to where you're going in your future. And I think your next step is really spending some time down at 9/11, the memorial, and helping those spirits to cross, and getting your classes back up and going, and recording those classes so you can apply it into your book, and getting a book going. So 3 things you got going on for you.
Sounds
Are
good.
you ready for your journey?
Yes, absolutely.
Very good, very good. So, let's see, what else did I want to say in reference to your card, in reference to the energy, and just for the viewers to take away. When we talk about the master number energy as that 33, what actually follows you with that energy?
I just know it's a teaching energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's that you're here to help, heal, and also teach others to do that themselves.
Okay. Now, Bobby, I think there's a flyer on the notebook. If you can pull that out, because I want the viewers to pull out a notebook here, because I want them to take some notes. Now, you being a 33, how did you come to your 33? Is it your birthday?
Yes, date of birth.
What's your birthday?
January 6, 1979.
Oh, so basically January 6th. So we have that 1/6, which is your 7, and what's the year?
1979?
Okay. Too much math for me to do on the show. But I'm going to trust that you're a 3/3. But now, in reference to when we talk about your personal energy for this particular year, is the January, what was the day again?
6?
6, so that's 7. And our energy for 2019, the energy itself is 3.
3.
Okay. And that's the collective energy. So now you take that 3, and then you take your 7 from the 1 and 6. 7 and 3 is 10. So this year, particularly for you, this is all about your new beginnings. This is all about your new journey, your new purpose, all new opportunities and possibilities coming for you. Now, do you feel like you're in that energy?
Absolutely.
And considering this is your first time being on TV.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a new opportunity right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect, perfect. And so your 3/3 energy, which is powerful. I love that 3/3 because I like 3s. I like 3s because it's all about communicating. Now, how do you feel with communicating? Like, do you like to communicate? Do you feel motivated and excited when you communicate, or do you shy away from it?
No, I love it.
You love communicating?
When I talk to spirit, I see and talk to them like I'm talking to you right now.
Okay. Now, not necessarily with spirit, because I'm sure you're very comfortable with spirit. Now,
I got what you're saying.
Now, in reference to actually having a conversation with, let's say, an audience, in a class, where
Yeah.
you're standing in front of an audience and having to share your wisdom, how are you with that?
I'm getting better at it.
Interesting enough that you're really great with the spirit communication, but you're getting better at communicating with the humans.
Correct.
Interesting enough, yes.
Learning Facebook, doing this, it's all opening up and new to me.
Yes, yes. And as it is, because that 3 energy, you have a lot to offer, a lot to educate people on, your wisdom, your knowledge, and just your journey, and how you came about. One of the things that I always say, with people's illness and disease, most people think it's like a curse. If they are diagnosed with whatever it might have been, like yours was a brain tumor.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at the age of 13, your mind is like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a scary experience. But for you, it was an opening to such an enlightening, beautiful spiritual gift.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for the viewers, if you take away anything from today's show, I like you to take away just that whatever illness or disease that you may be experiencing right now, there really may be a light at the end of that tunnel leading you into your spiritual gift. So I want you to be open-minded to just that and see where that actually will take you. So we're coming to the end of our show. One more time, Sean, share your information to how the viewers can reach you.
Oh, sure. I'm on Facebook at Sean Tannenbaum. My phone number is 516-673-6554. And I can be reached at sean.tannenbaum@gmail.com.
Excellent. We're going to take one more commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
Experience Feng Shui interior design for your home or office. Good Chi Feng Shui LLC can transform your home or workspace, no matter how large or small, into a harmonious, rejuvenated environment. Good Chi Feng Shui LLC. Call or email to schedule an appointment for a consultation today.
Throughout the ages, the purpose of astrology has remained consistent: to bring order out of chaos and provide the timing and significance of life events. I'm Denise Jordan, a professional counseling astrologer. My approach is predictive, psychological, and spiritual, providing you with insight and practical guidance in relationships, work, family, and finances. I am passionate about helping you live a dynamic, fulfilling life through my unique style of astrological counseling.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. Well, for those of you who are just tuning in, we're actually ending our show, but we had an awesome show today with our guest Sean, psychic medium. And I want to remind you, I am always looking for guests, healers, and those of you starting your healing journey. Feel free to send your bio and story to healingwithin76@gmail.com. And for any of you who are interested in taking on any of my service, whether it's a personal training session, Reiki treatment, a reading, whatever have you, nutrition coaching, feel free to call me at 646-236-9155. And again, Sean, thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure. I love the story. I'm hoping that the viewers got a lot out of today's conversation and that we enlightened them about spirit communication, psychic mediumship, and the word of the day is trust. So again, thank you so much for joining. And remember, share, like, and comment on today's show. And we will see you next week. Have a blessed day.